it's not just about the music, is it? It's about the whole ethos. It's about who is who. It's about the Nameless Ghouls. I once interviewed one of those Nameless Ghouls. I think it was Nameless Ghoul 7. Kept the mask on throughout, as you might expect. It's about Pepper. It's not about Peppa Pig, no. It's about Papa Emeritus, or is it Papa Perpetua now? It's about Tobias Forge. It's about Ghost, who were playing live in Manchester recently, and there were an enormous amount of people heading to that arena, and I passed when I was heading the other direction. I've never been a huge fan. I understand what they do, and I understand that they do mess around with music, and I understand that they do challenge, and I understand that you've got the crunch of guitars with a bit of ABBA in there as well. Never have they been, I don't think, this melodic rocky. This is their new album, Skeleta. I thought for a while it was Selector, as in Bo Selector, as in select your music. But it's Skeleta, isn't it? I think it is. And although we start with a bit of sepulchral church and all that, I mean, they mess around with kind of satanic paint and all of that, don't they? Although it's not really, it's nothing like that. And they really haven't produced the kind of pearl clutching, oh my God, it's demon worshipping, as much as they might have expected. They haven't had that problem, because it's more dramatic. It's more of a, well, it's a big show, this. It's a big show. And consequently, you don't have to worry about it being about Satan. There is a track here called Satanized. But I'll tell you something, it's not as heavy as you might expect it. And that is the case with this album. It's not as heavy as some people might expect, or as some fans might want. Now, we know that in the past we've got all that, as I say, ABBA, melodies and all that. And as I also said, and didn't finish this thought, when you start with the kind of churchified, don't think it's a word, churchified, sort of sepulchral choir and religious feel, it's a bit of a surprise when it turns into an AOR track. There is a lot of AOR on this album. Now, that's on point, isn't it? Because what you've got at the moment is a real love and a real push back to 80s AOR, 80s AOR that was popular in the charts in the mid-80s and all that, and 80s pop and 80s art pop. These are two separate things, Follux. I lived through them both, so I know. And this is part of that, because you've got the poppy chorus, you've got prime AOR on Peacefield, this first track. It's got AOR synths, those kind of 80s bubbly and also glacial 80s synths in Lacrima, which has got a heavier riff to it, but the vocal from Papa Perpetua is sweet. And that's not surprising, because we've got a big AOR chorus on it. It's radio rock. It's good radio rock, and they have been going here. As I say, Satanized, it's big pop. It's big pop with a big solo, a big 6-string solo. But that's that. I mean, you've got that to kind of anchor it for those people who are saying, but I want my rock. Well, you can have pop rock here. That's the thing. Now, there's a bit of rush in De Profundis Borealis, because it sounds like early 1980s Rush. It accesses some drama with a whisper. There's a bit of whispering, because that's very drama-like. But it does become, dramatic is the word I'm looking for. That's the word you're looking for, Steve, you idiot. Yes, I know. But it does become a bit, well, I've heard this before with a lot of bands and with Ghost as well. Cenotaph, though, it has guitars that sound like Sweet, or The Sweet, if you like. Are you ready, Papa? Uh-huh. Are you ready, Nameless Ghouls? Yeah. So it's got those glammy guitars, which I love. They're not afraid, are they? They're simply not afraid. They're doing this because they want to do it. And if you don't like it, then you can go and listen to someone else, can't you? Because they have nothing to prove, do they? And they've never been a band that's been a slave to fashion, really. Although, as I say, they are accessing some of those sounds du jour in the rock world. Umbra, it's got a synth to begin with that scared me. It made me jump a bit. But then it becomes a bit Vangelis, and that doesn't scare me at all. There's a big guitar and cowbell. I love that with the slamming beat. There is more urgency to that. And it finishes with something just beautiful and sad. Ex-Chelsea's is... I don't want to say it's a rock power ballad. It's not. It's a plaintive, lovely, beautifully sung and really emotional and emotive song about I will go, you will go, we will all go. But it has a real hopeful sound to it, a beautiful sound to it, a coaxing, I'm persuading you, don't be frightened sound to it. That's beautiful. And you could say that about the whole album. Don't be frightened. We're going here. Come with us. Or don't. Either way is fine. But we're going over here now. We might not stay here. Because we've got here now and we've been moving here for some time. We've got here. Next time, it might be a full-out pop album. You never know. It could be a Night Flight Orchestra deal. I just don't know. And I suspect neither do Ghost. And that's one of the marvellous things about them, isn't it? I've never been fully on board with the music. It's not something that I've listened to very often. But every time I've heard them, I've been impressed by the quality of their music and by the chutzpah of their music. And that is really apparent here. Ta-ta.